So I record on this computer.
It's recording now because I see
Recording now. That's what
the
I'm
top
talking.
right. Yes, it is.
Well, look,
Yep.
I got my brother Paul Stern on the other end right now, and I want to check. We're checking this out. This might end up being the real podcast because he and I are hooking it up. And Paul, look, now I've known you for a little bit of time, but not really known you, but I know you because we're both ex-Air Force. And
I'm Army.
Oh, you're ex-Army. I'm sorry, you're ex-Army.
Hey, listen, I'm be all I can be. You aim high.
No. Wasn't that the 4th of July? They had I forget who it was, who the star was in the 4th of July or something like that. And the guy's recruiting people in a high school or college. He said, look, you can join the Marine. Wait, what did he say? No, he said you can join the Navy, you could join the Army, you could join the Air Force, or you could join the Marines. Now, he said, where do you want to join?
Yeah.
And he made the Air Force real little pansies, but the Army and the Marines, that's the real thing. My father was in the Army, World War II.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. A lot of people say they don't go to the Marines because they're the first in.
That's right. In the last out. First in, last out.
The Marines going to pave the way. The Army come in.
That's right.
Air Force, they say Air Force aiming high, the Army be all you can. So you aiming high, I'm trying to be all I can be. So that's the same for the Army. Be all you can be. My 20 years,
yeah,
I was being all I can be, bro.
But let me tell you this, Paul. Listen, they changed everything since you and I were in there. And they made it so that everyone has to be combat ready. I think you were in while they did that. But I got out before everyone had to be combat ready, all 4 branches of the service. They had to start wearing khakis, start camouflage. We didn't do that in the Air Force. That was only special forces.
Well, I can tell you, in the Army, if you came into the military, Army, if something jumped off, you was going to be infantryman. Because when I first came in the Army, I was a signal background, going to be a signal background, but they made my secondary 11 Bravo, which is an infantryman. Okay. That's until I became an intel analyst.
Right.
But if you have a weapon, if something goes to happen, you have to go out and protect that perimeter. They don't make a difference in the Army.
No matter what field you're in.
If you go into a zone that requires you to go into a combat zone, you could be in a combat zone, but you don't have to be on the front lines. Right. You can be in the back, in the rear. But if something happened, you may have to protect your area.
Yeah. Okay.
So when you go through basic training AIT and weapons qualification, your drill sergeant or your platoon sergeant would always practice how you're going to posture if you were to go somewhere, how you get out and protect your area.
Right.
So when we go to the field, you practice in the field as if you were in war.
Right. Okay.
So when we went to the field, we would set up. If something were to happen for communication, that would be exactly what we're doing on the field. It would be exactly what we always had our weapons with us. If you were on duty, if you were inside the van, your weapon was in the van. You may not be issued ammo, because we're not so close, but you need to make sure that you were prepared. That's why every soldier that came in had the weapons qualifications.
Okay. But was there something else about the Army that I didn't find out until after I got out of the Air Force? And that's, tell me if this is true or not. The Army has more boats, more vehicles, more aircraft than any branch of the service. Isn't that the case?
I don't know if they have more boats, but the Army does have boats.
I was heard that they have more boats, not the variety type, but they have more boats per capita than any other branch of the service. That's what I was told.
I don't think they have more boats because the Navy definitely has more boats.
Is that right? You think so? The Navy has specialized boats. I was vice president of the Navy League. Don't forget, they have specialized boats. They have submarines. They have attack, vessels. They have aircraft. But still, the Army has more boats. Period. That's what I was told, and I saw a bunch of them in Yokohama.
I can check, but if memory serves me correct, I don't believe the Army has more boats than the
Navy.
The Navy.
Okay.
Because the Army has transporters.
Okay.
The Army has.
There's still boats.
Right, but they're not. Okay.
I'm not talking about.
You want to classify everything?
Everything. That's what I'm talking about. Everything. That's what they said. They weren't talking about the specialized boats like you have in the Navy. like submarines and things like that. But they said as far as seagoing vehicles, the Army has more than any other branch. And they were saying boats, basically. That's what I was told by someone who was in the Navy. This guy was in the Navy. So maybe, but anyway, let's find, maybe people listening
yeah,
this,
I can't find it, but I never heard that.
we can find out. We can find, matter of fact, I could ask Siri.
Google it. Google it.
Hey Siri.
Or ask Siri.
Good afternoon, Mr. Lee. How can I help?
Who has more boats in the U.S. military services?
Okay, I found this on the web for who has more boots in the U.S. military services. Check it out.
They put boots. I said boats.
Yeah.
Hey Siri. Who has the most boats in the U.S. military service?
Okay, I found this on the web for who has the most boats in the U.S. military service. Check it out.
It says the Army. Meet the biggest and baddest class of ships in the U.S. armies. These are 6 craziest military myths, Business Insiders. Let me see. Anyway. I would say that for, okay, it says the Army has more aircrafts than the Air Force and more boats than the Navy. Bingo. Here it is, buddy. See what it says right there?
Hey.
See? Can you read that?
Well, I see that, yeah.
See? I told you. I was pretty sure of that. Right?
I never known that the Army, well.
Yep. Well, that's okay because you're doing what you had to do in the Army. And that wasn't necessarily be out there on boats and then the aircraft.
But it depends on what they classify as a boat, because if they're talking about like bridges and stuff like that, the Army do have transporters where they have boats where they build, like in Rhine, Maine, you can have bridges, you know, that are in the water.
To float, exactly. Tell me this, Paul. How did you get here to Japan? Since both of us are living here in Japan, how long have you been in Japan first? Living here?
I've been in Japan altogether since 1995. 1995 to 97, I was a soldier. I worked at the Science Technology Lab.
Okay.
And then I left. I left in 97, March 97, and went to Fort Gordon, Georgia, and that's where I retired in November 97. Mm-hmm. And after November 97, and I came back to Japan, March 1998. Okay. Where I began working with morale, welfare, and recreation, and I stayed here my whole 20 years.
So 22 years you've been here, right?
I've been a little more than 22 years since 1995.
Oh, I think, okay, so 24 years. Okay, 24 years you lived here. No, yeah. 25. 25, yeah. You came here in 95, yeah. 25 years, yeah, right. In Japan. Right. How many years as a civilian?
As a civilian, I would say 22. No, if I've been here 23.
23 years you've been here as a civilian in Japan?
Yes, yes.
Why? Simple question, why? Where are you from? Wait, first of all, where are you from in the U.S.? What do you call home?
This is the JJB, the Jersey Jumping Bean. I'm from Morristown, New Jersey.
All right.
Coming to you live here in Camp Zama, Japan. Living the dream, bro. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Now, why?
Hey, I would say I'm highly blessed and favored. I stayed in Japan, first of all, because I saw an opportunity for me to come here and develop myself in morale, welfare, and recreation. And hopefully I go from the bottom to the top. And my only goal in life was to do 20 years in the military and 20 years civil service and retire. And then I can actually do what I want. Although I was doing what I want to do, I can truly say I can get up when I want to get up, go where I want to go anytime. I don't have to worry about, I don't wear a watch, you know, I don't look at time and pointing, whatever. Because I can truly, I can truly live life here. In my perspective, this is just my opinion, I feel a lot safer here. If I want to take the public transportation, I don't have to worry about if I lose something. I'm 9 times out of 10, I get it back. Mm-hmm. But here's what really made me want to stay in Japan.
Okay.
My first experience going to a Japanese gas station.
Okay. What
I was
happened?
in uniform. They say, "Oh, hey, Mr. Stearns, you pull gas. Can you get out, please?" I was like, "Okay, can I get out?" I wonder what they're gonna do. I get out. They take a rag. They wipe my ashtray. They wipe the inside of my car. They wipe everything. And as soon as I get back in the car, and guess what? They stop traffic for me to get out. And I'm saying, "Oh my God, are you serious?" They're gonna stop. I'm thinking like from New Jersey, and if you had to get out, ain't nobody gonna let you out. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like I was on a busy street. They stopped traffic for me to get out and bow and say thank you for coming to the service and go on your merry way.
That
And
did.
then I watched him in my rear, and I watched him in my rear mirror, and they were bowing down real low until they almost couldn't see me anymore. I was like, oh my! I said, you know what? Customer service and being safe. I said, you know what? This may not be a bad place to be.
Now, how long had you
So
been here?
as
How long had you been here when that happened?
I had been here about when I got my car, I had been here and got a car. And then my first experience going off base, I said, let me go into the gas station and try to pump gas, but didn't know that they pumped before me because they looked at me and like, oh, here come American. He probably don't know what he's doing. I got the car, and they said she started speaking Japanese, and she said, which one you want, high, medium, or low? Because you see it on there, the colors. So I pressed whatever color I wanted, and she put it in for me, and I was like, okay, very helpful. And then when I had on, that was my first experience. I go back, I said, wow, man, maybe the Americans you need to take this same initiative because it really makes your day that somebody as much as pumping gas had that much enthusiasm about their job and allowing you to get out and not have to do anything. I said, they really customer service to the utmost. I was like, wow.
You'd been here. You'd been here how long? A year? 2 years? How long had you been here?
No, I had been here I'd say about 4 weeks.
And that's what.
It
And that
took it
from that time on, you said, "Hey, I just might stay here."
I say, wow, if they're doing this for gas station, what else would we do? Where other places? And
Okay.
then I would go into stores and they would be yelling, I see what saying. I was like, what were they saying? It made you
Yeah,
turn
right.
around and say, hey, they try, hey, somebody greeting your day, how you doing? Stuff like, oh my God, this is all right.
Mm,
Walk around. I didn't have to worry about somebody following me. If I was trying to do something, I could just walk around, look.
yeah.
And then
I found the same thing.
here,
Yeah. Go ahead.
here's the kicker. I got on the train, going to Tokyo, had my backpack on.
Okay.
I put my backpack up at the top. Although I had money in my pocket, I had, I had my ID in there. I got off the train and forgot it.
Your ID?
I had my backpack.
You forgot your
I had my
backpack.
backpack. You know how you go to the train, you put your back.
You put it up on the top.
I
Yeah.
left my backpack on the top.
Okay.
And as soon as the door closed, I said, oh my God. I
Uh-oh.
had all my documents in there, my
It's gone. It's
passport.
gone.
I
It's
had
gone.
everything in it. And I'm saying to myself, and I had $400 in there.
So you knew it's gone. It's
But,
gone. Never gonna come back.
so I knew it was gone. I knew it was gone. Went home that day. I went to the MP station, said, listen, this is what happened, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. I had enough to get back. I got a phone call around 12 o'clock at nighttime, and the guy was speaking Japanese,
Right.
I mean, English. And I said, Egon Gashimas. And he said, okay, chatamati. Next thing I know, a person came on, is this Mr. Stearns? I said, yes, this is Mr. Stearns. This is I don't know if it was a Zama or Sagami Hart police station, one of them. We have your backpack. And I'm saying to myself, really, I'm saying, in my mind, I'm saying, excuse me for my language, I'm saying, you got to be shitting me. I cannot believe that it's 12 o'clock at nighttime. I got my backpack, because I had my number and everything in Japanese. If it's just lost, call this number. I had my cell phone, call it. I was like, I went to the police station. I picked it up. I had everything in it to include my money.
$400 was still there.
So,
Uh, uh, uh.
so then I find out normally they would call the MP station there, but
Mm-hmm.
I had a card in there in Japanese. If this is lost in Japanese, someone wrote it for me. If this is lost, contact Paul Stearns at this number. So
Now
they
this was
called it. I was like,
about what year was this? 1990. What year was this?
this was 1990. I want to say 1994. No, 19 no, 95.
All right, so
95.
that's back then. Do you think it's the same now? Do you think the same thing would happen now?
No, I don't.
What do you think would happen now if you left your backpack?
It just depends who would pick it up, I would believe.
Okay,
There's a lot of foreigners that come
that's
on here
there's
that I
more
believe
foreigners here than there were before.
that I believe would take it and would not give it back. But if a Japanese, I
You
believe a
get it.
Japanese would,
You get
they
it.
would do it.
Because you know why? You know what happened when I first came here. I came back. I came to Japan in '74, and when I got
Mhm.
back, when I came here, then the 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 saying was the same. What the custom was then: if you found money or anyone's thing, there was a reward. Basically, that they just basically knew. Everyone knew this. That you give
Hmm.
people, like if you had lost $100, you'd give them 20% of that.
Right,
if
right.
if they come, and if no one came to pick it up, I think it was something like a month or 2 months, it was yours.
Uh-huh.
Police would call you up. Oh, you just
Yep.
cut off. You
Sorry
know.
about that. Hold on.
All right.
Where did I go? I hit the thing, hit my button. I'm mistaken.
All right, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
So
Yeah.
so you would get, you know, you'd give them the money, or you'd get the whole amount of money. Let's say if you found $100, the police would come back and tell you no one picked it up, so it's yours. So that encouraged people to be honest and just to give them
Right.
money. So they didn't feel like they were taking, doing harm to anyone because someone honestly lost it. But no, I think that it still basically holds. But you're right, there are a lot more people here that aren't Japanese now, that come from
Right.
customs that aren't as honorable in that
Right.
situation. They have like what I finders keepers. They believe the finders keep
Yes.
losers
Yep.
weepers, where the Japanese believe like we will always take care of
Yep.
each other. So therefore, it's
And
not
and
mine.
and and then sometimes I don't believe that the foreigners know that a lot of times they have cameras on those trains.
That's what well, now there's cameras everywhere, so they can find out who's taking.
Yeah.
They can
So they
find out.
can find out who's taking it, Yeah.
When I first came here,
If
that
you know where you left it, yeah, yeah, right.
but now that's the case. So there's hardly anything you can do. So I think one of the things that amazed me when I came to Japan is the fact that everything was, I called it the shoplifter's paradise. And it's still that today.
Yes, it
You,
is.
but there are cameras everywhere, but still it doesn't really matter, because if you go to a fruit shop, or if you go anywhere, you go to Akihabara, the stuff is right out there in the street. You can walk by there, pick up anything you want and walk off, and no,
Yep,
it's like, I mean, it's just unreal here.
yep,
It makes you want to be honest,
true.
I think, for the most part.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, what are some of the things you like doing in Japan since you've lived here for so long? What are the things that? Well, how do you spend your days? That you what have you had? I'd like to know this. What do you do that you have the most fun doing while you're here in Japan? Now I know every day is a great day for you, but still, what do you enjoy doing?
Well, in the past, my job, well, I had a job, at Morale, Welfare, and Recreation that helped me. One of my positions there helped me bring entertainment to the military community. So I had a job that took me out to visit just about all the clubs that I want to go to, see what musicians were playing. I would go to the Blue Note if a musician was playing there from the States. I would say, hey, is there any chance you come in on Camp Zama and do something for the soldiers? So those things that I love doing, and I took the train everywhere.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I had to worry about get up and get the train. I know what time it was. If I wanted to grab my seat, I know not to travel during peak times. Even I got to the point where if I was going to travel, I would calculate my time where I know there's not a lot of people on the train here. I get on this train. If I got 45 minutes, I can sit on this seat, get on the train, and take me wherever I want to go. I get off. I would plan my day that way. I just love the idea that I could get out and go anywhere I wanted to and do something different.
Right.
But I had a passion of a refereeing, officiating.
That's when
I
that's
did.
when we really get to know each other.
I
That's what
yes,
you do.
I officiate. I did. But I've been doing basketball. I've been a basketball official since I was back in Augusta, Georgia. Back in actually it's in New Jersey since back in '83. So when I got here, I started refereeing basketball, and I refereed everything: basketball, football, softball. But my love was basketball.
Right.
So I became the basketball commissioner for association here, which allowed me to go to all the international schools. I refereed at all the international schools: Sason, St. Mary's Ish, ASIJ, Christian Academy, Zama High School, Yokota. I would travel to those schools to do all those games, and I I got a lot of friendships
That's
that
right.
took me a lot of different places.
That's
That
right.
next thing I turn around, I've been in Japan 25 years.
Isn't
Are
that
you
something?
serious? I can remember. I can remember when the first time I got here, and then I'm realizing, so it's time for me to retire. I made my goal. I wanted to do 20 years. I wanted to retire, so I get two. So I get two retirements. You know, because you see a lot of times you see people come and they stay in that job and they die. They stay in that job until they die.
That's right.
And
That's
then when you sit back and think about things, you start realizing I work all the time. When do I get time to just to do what I, although I love my job, do whatever I want to do,
right.
when I want to do it, and at my own pace.
Yeah.
And
So
I was very fortunate. I was very fortunate to be able to didn't have to worry about money, didn't have to worry about medical, dental, anything that I planned it out to in my life that whoever I'm with, my partner, my partner that I'm with,
right.
I have money coming in and I don't have to worry about I'm still gonna have money coming in till the day I die. I don't owe nobody anything.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed.
Do you have
I'm
family?
highly blessed and favored.
Do you have family here? I
I
mean,
have not immediate family,
okay, no need.
but I have what my girlfriend, what I consider
Okay.
family, because we've been together 7, 8 years.
Okay.
So yes, I do have. I consider I have family here.
Now, you have no intention of going back to the States. When did you decide that that would not be a place you'd live, and why? Like as if I had
Well,
to ask.
yeah, I've been here so long. I love the economy.
Yeah.
It's very safe here, and I see what's going on in the world today. How people, all the fighting, you know, how the things that our government are doing.
Mhm.
For me, I have a choice.
That's
I
right.
have something that a lot of people don't have. I have a choice.
Yeah.
I can choose to go back there
No, what
and do
if you
and
couldn't
deal
stay
with all the stuff
here?
that's going on. Right?
If you couldn't live here, where would you? Let's say if Japan someday said, "Look, Mr. Stern, it's been a pleasure. We've enjoyed your time here, but we'd like for you to leave." Where would you go?
Well, if I was with my girlfriend, I know I'd be going to Guam. If I wasn't with her,
That's a U.S. territory. Yeah.
that's okay. I've been there
Okay.
before.
All right.
But
I've been there many times. Yeah. So
I had been looking at expat. I looked at places to retire that had good health care.
yeah.
I wanted to go somewhere where I could get good medical, cheap to live like a king. If I had looked at every Costa Rica, I mean, I looked high and low. I have a lot of friends who are in Bangkok.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people go to Thailand.
Right.
That's where a lot of retirees are in Thailand. Um, and I know I would either go to California if I had to go back to the States.
Okay.
I would go to California where my son is,
Okay.
or I would stay somewhere overseas.
Okay.
I
California.
would I would I would I would go visit the States, go see my parents, my mom, my sisters. I'd visit. I wouldn't go live there.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
been in Japan so long that you know what? I don't have to go back to that crazy, all the rigmarole. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I have no desire
Yeah.
to go back to the States. I go back to the live.
Are you really active on social media, or do you pretty much? I mean,
Um,
like.
I used to be active on social media because all the entertainers that we brought to Japan,
Right.
like we had Michael Jackson here. I had some of the Mets here. I had the Cubs here. I had Flow Rider came in here. I had All for One, Genuine, Changing Faces, Color Me Bad. I had a lot of other things. Will Smith. We used they came here and performed for us. So far as getting entertainment, getting out, meet and greeting people, I
Mhm.
can always go to the Blue Note or somewhere else that they would come in. And I would speak to them. That was for me. That would took up a lot of my time, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Wow.
I
Wow.
enjoyed it. There are a lot of artists over here that I found out. There's a lot of artists over here that I know about 7 or 8 of them that
Yeah.
they travel all around in Japan, do all different type of entertainments and gigs, and then I go listen to them. And for me, I mean, hey, life is good. I get up, go listen to them, have a good time, come back, get up in the morning, go to hit the gym, get my little workout on. But now that COVID-19,
Tell me.
COVID came out, it just
Changed everything,
Right
man.
now,
It's made us have
it
to do what
changed
we're doing
everything.
right now. Instead of me sitting there
Yep,
with you and doing an interview with you like this for a podcast.
right.
'Cause I was going to do a podcast way before COVID started, but this kind of pushed me into it and made it easier for me to set up this podcast. Oh, and I came up with a name. It's not going to be what I said before. I'm thinking about using my name and just saying podcast. Lancey Lee Podcast. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I have someone working on that now. And
Well, I think that's great, but I still
yeah,
think it needs a little catchy. Lance Lee in Japan podcast or something that's like, oh
okay.
wow, let me click on it. This guy's in Japan. Oh, let me click.
Lance E. Lee in Japan, yeah. I figure
Yeah,
because my son's Lance H. Lee, so I figure I have to use my middle name so I can, I have to distinguish between E and I
right,
so people won't confuse it. And if you Google me,
right,
you have to use that E if you want to get more of me on there
right.
than my son or anything else. Paul, tell me, what does the future hold for Paul Stearns?
The future holds.
We've been up here 38 minutes so far, my brother. And look, this has been good, man.
Time flies.
Isn't it
What's
nice?
in it?
This is
Yes, it
smooth.
is.
I like
What's
this.
in the future for me?
Okay.
The future for me is that I continue to be able to get up each morning, and have a great day, and try to be better than I was the day before.
There you go.
Because truly, 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 when you think about things, this is my view on life.
Okay.
The things that I can control, I control them. The things that I can't control, I don't worry about them, because I guarantee you 99.9, most people worry about the things that they can't control. That makes you get old quick.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So for me, in Japan, life is good. For me, it's slow. If I want to go fast, I go slow. So the future is, I want to get up every day. Whatever I decide to do, I have a good time, because you know what? Tomorrow's never promised.
It isn't. Tell me about it. I
The
mean,
one, the ones that you're close to,
right.
that you
Let them,
love, tell them you love them.
let them know.
Tell them you miss them. Laugh,
Mm-hmm.
cry, all those things,
You're right.
because tomorrow is not promised. When the
Yeah.
man up above, whoever you're created, who you think, for me, my created Jesus Christ, when he tells me it's my time, they're not gonna wait for me.
Mm-hmm.
Time waits for no one.
That's right. And
You
it
know,
keeps on
I've
going.
learned that, wow. But just like I said, I've been here over 20 years, and I still seem like it's been like tomorrow, because you don't think about that you're gonna be here that long, and you don't think about, man, I scratching my head, man, I came here 20 something years later. Now I'm 60 years old, over 60. Where did the time go?
Looking good, my brother. Wait. You don't dye your hair, do you? Do you dye your hair, man?
Every now and then, yes, I do.
All right, so that's the truth. But
Because
you
I get
look
it
good,
here.
man. Because no, listen, you look better than a lot of 30-year-olds I know. You're looking good, my
Listen,
brother.
this July,
I
this
know
coming
that.
July,
Talk
I'll
to me.
be 65. I'll be 65 years old.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Looking
I'm a knock on wood that the good Lord has allowed me to get
good.
up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for 64 some plus years.
Yeah.
Because
It's
whatever
not
ailment I
guaranteed.
have, whatever I have going on in my life, it's
That's
not
right.
worth it.
Tell me about it. Tell me
My
about it.
friends, that if you're in my circle, I talk to them every day. Hey,
Right.
brother, hey, sister, I appreciate you. I
Yeah.
love you. I appreciate you, because
Yeah.
when
Every day is
when something happens to one of your so-called friends, and you don't speak to them, you'll be scratching your head like, man, I wish I had spoke to him that day, or I
we
wish I
all
had,
do that.
I don't want to be where I wish I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I speak more now to my sons, my brothers, my sisters,
How many sons you
my
have? How
family.
many sons you got?
I have two boys,
Okay. Because you said
two of
I
my
thought you had
own,
one, so you have two boys. Okay.
I have two. One's in California and one's in Tennessee.
Okay. All right. And they're all doing well. Your boys doing okay?
They're all, listen. They're doing very well,
That's
very
good.
well. They're living their own lives, having a good time. And
That's
for
good.
me, as long as they're productive, they have a job, they can get up and do the things they want to do. Then they're okay.
All
They're
right.
okay.
Amen.
They love sports, so we get online, we chat and everything. So
Are you a big
it's good.
sports guy? Are you a big sports guy too?
I love basketball, watch basketball,
All right.
but I watch more basketball now. And but then sometimes I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I will look at a little bit of news, TV, Yeah, I had out. There just used to be a big person who's on social media a lot because I had a lot of events. But now I look at some of the news. I don't post a whole lot of stuff. All
Mhm.
my things on Facebook are events that had happened to me throughout my
Oh, so
years
you're
I've been in Japan. Now I don't. Yeah,
right. You're not
my
posting now?
Facebook.
You're not
Yeah,
posting now, or you are posting?
I don't post a lot. I
Okay.
mean, you can go on my if someone go to my Facebook, they see all the artists I had coming here. So I did it a lot. I had picture my face with Michael Jackson, you know.
That's right. We saw that too.
So I was able to, man, how many people can say that they had a chance to sit down and talk to the King of Pop,
Talk to me.
you
Listen,
know?
I
And
got
yeah.
I got my 5 minutes. I got 5 minutes, but I didn't get like you
Oh,
really got to spend time with them. I know.
I was on a helicopter with him.
That's
He
right.
came into matter of fact, I had people call me. They said, "Hey, we saw your picture. You was on it with Michael Jackson and BET." I said, "No, I'm not in States. I'm in Japan." I said, "That was in our gymnasium
That went all over
that
the
we
world.
flew him in a helicopter from Hardy Barracks
Yeah.
right down to Camp Zama." Oh my God! And they had
Yeah.
everyone.
The interview, the podcast I did before this one was with Dan Smith, the guy that did the camera
Yeah.
work, and who tied up with you to make sure you guys got together to get that. You tied up with him more than
Oh yeah.
most, didn't you? Yeah.
Well, Dan was influential in that he called me, and we both came and I contacted my public affairs, Major Brooks and or Lieutenant Colonel Brooks at the time, and we were fortunate enough to Hardy Barracks belongs to Camp Zama.
Hmm.
They have a helipad there,
I know.
and we had to go through all the channels for the good of the service. The general allowed us to fly him from Camp Zama down to flying from Hardy Barracks, Tokyo, down to Camp Zama. We picked him up from his hotel, drove the bus there, and all the entourage with him. We got all the necessary paperwork, and for him to, fly there, because if we had to drive, he wouldn't be coming.
That's
It's
right.
a what 12-minute helicopter flight, and it was like I'm saying to myself, I'm sitting here with the King of
Tell
Pop.
me about
Oh
it.
my God,
Tell me about it.
telling him where he had to. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Jackson? I got to shake his hand, walked around when he was in the locker room, sat and talked him in the back of the bus. He's like a human being.
Doesn't get any better.
Human being. That I got some video coverage that no one has.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a picture that behind me that very few people have during that time frame. Very few people have it. So
I think
I got the
that's when I actually met you, Paul, because I think I came with Dan, and he and I came to Zama after, not that time, but I mean I met you right after that because of that, because Dan had to
yeah,
come and talk to you about something else, and we were at Zama,
yeah.
and then we went into your office, and you were still in the service then, and I came to meet you
No,
there.
I wasn't in service.
Oh,
I was
you were
working.
civilian. I thought
I
okay.
was civilian.
Okay, I thought you okay, but you had that office there on Camp Zama. You had your picture with Michael Jackson behind you.
I was just, that
You're killing
I was a chief recreation officer.
it. Okay,
I wasn't in the military. That
okay,
was my job.
okay. All right, all right. So I
Um,
didn't connect
so
connect it. Yeah.
and we used to do all the open post events, and Dan had a lot of things that he
Mhm.
had people coming in, and because we could do certain things that other people couldn't do.
Right.
um, we had a lot going on. It got to the point where other services were getting jealous. Why is Camp Zama getting all this? I mean, in my mind, when someone tell me no, you can't do something, okay,
That's how
I'm
I
gonna
am.
find a way to do it,
That's how I am. Yeah.
because it wasn't for me. It was for the soldiers and the family members that are in U.S. Army Garrison, Japan. I tried to do everything I could to make them have a little taste of home. I was the one instrumental in helping them do the Army band play the national anthem and play at the Major League Baseball opener.
Mm,
I worked with Jim Smalls.
okay.
That we got the Army band to get on there and do stuff, and we get tickets. I would bring them to MWR. To my outdoor rec. Man, we really we had it going on, and then we had a lot of open post events. But nowadays a lot of things turn. I put it this way: I've been retired now 2 years, so I'm not really. I don't really get involved. I don't go back to where I worked at anymore. I go to gym. I hang out. Hey, I worked there
It's
before.
good. Listen,
I don't even hang around.
it's good to have a clean break because I've been in positions too that where sometimes it's hard to let go. And when you do that, you're only letting yourself for a big letdown because people will let you go. You know, some people will remember you,
Absolutely.
but for the most part, those emails, those messages stop coming real quick. You say,
Yes.
man,
Yes.
I thought you
Yes.
liked me. No, no.
And then a lot of people may hate. A lot of people may hate what I'm saying. Sometimes I'm not the right color.
But listen, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's
That's
the world we live in,
that's the
and
fact.
that's the country, unfortunately, we come from. But listen, even having said that, our country is so powerful that we put someone of our color in the highest office in that land, and no other country
Absolutely.
has ever.
Ever.
France, Germany, and they've had us there longer than we've been in America, and they haven't done it.
True.
So we have to give credit where credit's due. America has done stuff for us that
Absolutely.
no other
Oh
country
yes.
ever even think about doing it. But it's just a shame that
Now
we,
don't listen.
you know. No, I
Don't get me
agree with
wrong.
you. No,
I
listen,
never
I
disown
understand.
my country,
If you did, you
but
wouldn't have
as
been
again,
involved with them for that long. There's no way in the world. I know where your
hey,
heart
check
stands.
it out.
I know that.
But then again, I'm not. I have a choice.
That's true.
So some people don't have a choice.
That's true.
I got a choice, and the choices I choose, I live with them.
That's right.
Because guess what? I'm the one that has to be happy,
That's
not
true.
everybody else. If
That's
I'm happy, whoever is in my circle, I know I can make them just as happy too. If I'm miserable, I don't want to be around negativity,
true.
not positive, because for me, negativity is not in my repertoire.
I had a girlfriend once that told me that I didn't, she wasn't my girlfriend. She was a friend girl who was a model, and she was in Japan. We used to go out, I'd see her every now and then when I went out. And I said,
Mhm.
Terry, why is it that every time I see you, you're always so happy? You know what she said? She said, because when I'm sad, I stay inside. Oh, wow. She said, why would I go outside and make other people feel unpleasant? I only come out when I feel happy. And I thought, that's a good point.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So you're just doing the same thing. Your inner circle, you make sure that you keep yourself positive. And when you don't, you just don't call them.
Yes.
You're not going to call them to talk about the blues. You talk about the things that
Yeah.
keep them positive, keep you good. Well, all the time I've
Absolutely.
known you, Paul, I've always known you to be very positive. I've never known you to be, and even times when you think you might sound a little, but you keep it, you always curse it with something very positive. You know, you've always
Well,
been.
I tried because when it's negative, negative, there's a lot of things behind negative. There's so many layers behind negative that
Mhm.
makes things even worse. I'm even if I had to be negative for that time, I try. Hey, listen, I don't linger on it. Okay, that happened. I'm not gonna worry about that because I can't control that. If that's the way an individual wants to be. Okay, let him be there. Or he or she. Gotcha. Deuces. I'm out. Let's
Right.
go somewhere. Let's talk about something different.
On
But
that,
hey, listen.
go ahead.
I don't want to be like some people who are around misery. They want to be around, or you're around that person all the time who's always got, man, I hate this, I hate. No, listen, okay, not. We don't need to. If you're gonna talk like that, I talk to you later.
I'll tell you.
I
Listen,
want to have a good time. I want to laugh. I want to joke because I could, I could get off this podcast, go sit down, and guess what? I may not wake up.
hey, listen, it's too real. That's too real. But that's the truth. That's true.
And guess what? There's not a lot of many of us Afro Americans. Oh, there's a lot here that are able to do the things that you and I do. We've been through a lot, and look at what we're doing now.
Talk to me.
Listen. I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm highly blessed and favored, and
Well,
I'll
listen,
tell
both
you
of
what,
us. Go ahead.
I'm living. I'm for me. Thank you, Lord. I'm living a dream.
There you go. I had one friend that said to me once today, he said, Lance, I'm not going to dream my life away. I'm going to live my dreams away. So I use that all the time, living my dreams away. And both of us are in our
Yep.
60s. So we've been on this planet for 6 decades. I don't count the first 5 because, we're just figuring out who we are.
But
So,
we still in
we are.
purpose.
So it doesn't really count too much.
That's
If
right.
you
That's right.
go, you don't know what's really going on. But after that, then you start to get into the groove. So we've been here for, let's say, 6 decades, and it's been worth it. We had our ups and downs. It's been enjoyable, and I'm happy that I can meet birds of a feather, people like yourself that have come over here and also enjoyed this country as much as I enjoy the country. And I think
Absolutely.
it's a beautiful place for people to come. If there are people that are going to be productive, have something to offer, they're not coming to take, they're coming to give,
Yes.
then this is a beautiful country to be in. And don't expect to be Japanese because you're not. you know, be who you are and enjoy.
You know what? I have been over here so long with the government.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the government brought me here.
That's right. Me
So
too.
when it was time for me to retire, I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? I was fortunate to have a sponsor who helped me, and now I'm going into my third year as a retiree. I still got a blue ID card, but
Okay.
I am over here under the Japanese government
There you go.
for the next 3 years.
There you go.
I got my working visa. I have Japanese health insurance, which is awesome. I mean, I got military insurance, and I'm 100% I'm a disabled vet.
Okay.
I'm listen. I'm more than blessed.
There
I'm
you go.
very fortunate, very fortunate. So I count my blessings every day, and I'm just so happy that I'm glad to be able to get up every morning, tell the ones I love, hey, I love you, and decide, what am I going to do today? Am I going to do anything today? Am I going to sit home today? Am I? I have a choice to. Not most people don't have the opportunity to say, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do,
Mhm.
whenever I want to do it.
Okay, wait. I don't want to leave on that note. I was thinking about that. What would you tell others to do to get to the point? I mean, how do you tell your sons to enjoy life so they can, if they're fortunate enough to live into their 60s and past, what guidelines would you give them? What would you suggest for them?
I suggest, first of all, get into something that you enjoy. What
Okay.
I found out, a lot of people get into a job just because of a job, but do you really like it? No, I get the job because I had to do it. I got to pay bills and everything. Get into a field of something that you enjoy. Once you find something you enjoy, plan for tomorrow. Pay yourself. Because guess what? 20 years later, you don't, I didn't pay myself. I don't have any money. I don't have resources to help me function. So I have to keep working.
Now, pay yourself. What do you mean, pay yourself? How do you pay
When
yourself?
you get paid, when you pay yourself, make sure you put something away
Okay,
for a rainy day.
when you get paid, put some money away somewhere.
Instead of spending money,
Okay.
I make sure I put a certain amount of money into an account.
Oh,
Like I said, pay myself because I want to be able to, when like I say, when I retire, not have to worry about it. I got to depend on go to work. You know, I go to
right.
once a month. I know I go to the mailbox of the bank, look at my bank account. Hey, I'm still getting paid, and I get up. I'm laying in my bed. Or I'm sitting back, you doing some finger flexion, watching TV, watching some sporting event, out riding a bicycle, riding a car, refereeing a basketball game, volleyball game, and it's like, look at me.
There you go.
I'm doing like Charlie Wilson said. Ask me what I'm doing. I'm blessed. Yes. Enjoy life.
All right.
What I want to leave on is,
Okay.
I always say this. This is what my father told me when I came out from Somalia. And once I really, really learned about this, life became simple. I mentioned to you earlier before. I live like this. I tell the things that you can control them. The things that you can't control them, don't worry about them, because those are things that you can't worry about. You're gonna let life pass you by. You're gonna be thinking about them 20 years later, and all the other time, the things I can control are the things that are going to make me a successful human being when I get the age I am now, that I'm able to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, and where I want to do it, and not have to depend on anybody else.
There you go. All right, listen,
That's
Paul.
life.
Thank you, man. We're gonna leave on that. We've done an hour, man. We just almost did. It's been about an hour. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the recording now, and then what I'm gonna do is when I give it to the person that I give it to and have them do their stuff, I'll make sure that you get the first copy of it so you can see what this looks
Okay.
like. All right. And I want to thank you, man, with all my heart.
And
Honestly, all my heart, man.
it
Take
it,
care.
it I,
Be blessed.
I
'Cause
appreciate you, my brother.
I know you're blessed. Stay blessed.
Roger that.
And we'll continue to talk. We'll continue to talk, man. All right.
I still need to get up there with you.
You will
Like I said,
anytime.
I've been here so long, and I've been everywhere. Never been up to where you are to been to the club to see how it was, because I
You're
miss
welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. Well, our club
had
right
me going other places.
the club right now is we can have guests in there, but there's a limited time. They have to leave by 9, so it's not a good time yet. But I think as this COVID thing starts to pan out, which I'm hoping it will, then we'll go back into more of a regular mode, and then that'll be the time to come by. All right.
All right. I appreciate you, my brother.
I'll let you go, man. You take care.
All right.
Have
Take
a
care.
wonderful rest of the day, and I'll talk to you again soon, man.
All right. Take care.
All right.